Hello and welcome to the Flatcar Developer Sync. In the Developer Sync, which is a monthly series, we talk about developments, issues, your favorite PRs, and we have a few maintainers here who will share their insights. To get started, let me share the agenda. Oh, and of course, Flatcar is a CNCF project, and as such, we adhere to the CNCF Code of Conduct. Basically, be nice to each other. Don't talk over each other. If you want to say something and people just don't stop talking like me right now, please use the raise hand feature, and I'll make sure to give the mic to you. All right. This is our agenda. Cyan, who usually conducts this meeting, hosts this meeting, couldn't make it today. Maybe he'll join later. So I will be your Cyan for today. Let's do the check-in. There isn't anyone new here, right? We're all just the Flatcar folks. So that was easy. And let's repeat our record of the C groups V1 application. Is that in stable yet? Or is it still in beta? It's actually easy to check.
Oh, it's in beta actually.
Yeah. So if you wanna check yourself which version doesn't support C groups V1 anymore, a very easy way to do that is to check the release channels and check which channel has systemd 256. So it's not in stable yet. It is in beta, and systemd 256 does not support legacy C groups V1 any longer, not even in legacy mode. And when upstream stops supporting that, then we stop supporting it. This has been a year-long effort getting people to migrate to V2, so V2 support is the default. V2 is the default and has been the default in Flatcar for years. If you still in one, if you need more time to migrate, our recommendation would be to check out the LTS channel. LTS 2025 will be supported way into 2026. And it ships systemd 255, which we will not upgrade. So you will be able to use the V1 legacy mode with the LTS release and still get patch releases for the most important packages.
Is it intentional that we only show one LTS on that page? Because we do want people to update.
You want at least for the latest LTS release, people should upgrade to the. I know that there's the other LTS, which is technically still receiving patch update, which will stop shortly. That is LTS 2023. Yeah, but there's just one LTS channel, and LTS people should just use the 6-month transitioning time between LTS releases to switch to the latest version. So that is the reason why you have to dig down and you see actually that I think it's 35 something, right? The other LTS release, and it's way down here.
It's a bit unclear because there hasn't been a release in that stream since we started doing the new one, but yeah, potentially that could be.
So yeah, so the last patch level was in March for that release, and there have been. Let me check. Oh, okay. No, yeah, okay. That's the new. No, wait. So the new LTS was released in January, and for the 2023 LTS, we shipped patch releases in March.
It's not in time order.
Yeah, no, it's in version sort order, and that's sorry for confusing this. So yeah. So there's always a migration window from one LTS to the other where, the old LTS is still supported with emergency fixes. So if something breaks for you on the old LTS, we will still make an effort to get it fixed and to issue a patch release or if there's an important security issue, we will also make sure to issue a patch release. But there are no regular releases for the old LTS channel anymore. Everyone should migrate to 4081. And 4081 will support the cgroups v1 legacy mode until the end of this year. So you're safe there. If you have workloads that need more time migrating, please use the LTS. Otherwise, stable is a very safe choice. And the next stable will include support for cgroups v2, but not for v1 anymore. And the way this will work is if you're using the v1 legacy mode, then your nodes will just refuse to update. Because we don't want to update you and break your workloads, obviously. But at that point in time, I think there's a little bit of pressure on maintainers, on users and administrators and operators to either migrate to the LTS or to their workloads to cgroups v2. All right. Thanks for the question. That's a very good question. Okay. New contributors. So we have two first-time contributors, Max and Aaron, and it's in our monthly contributor report. Max actually fixed table of contents scroll bar issue with the Flatcar website, and this always gets my respect because I have no idea how to deal with websites. That is very alien to me. Every time I try, I break stuff. So great to see a contribution there. That is awesome. And Aaron actually provided updates and fixes for the Word.io and Fuse kernel drivers in the scripts repository. That is some deeply involving work, and that deserves respect as well. Awesome to see you contributing. Thanks for that. Okay. So we look at the contributors report. Other than the first-time folks, most contributions were done by maintainers, but we've been pushing a lot of work. Quite a few PRs merged and closed, package updates across the board. And let's have a look at the advisory metrics. So these are the public advisories that we're tracking. Dongsu, do you want to call out something in particular? Or is it just regular updates?
One important package update would be Intel microcode. That was released 2 weeks ago, and it is already included in the current weekly updates. Someone should just polish the PR and request to use and run CIs as well.
Very good.
And now we actually ship it, which we didn't until recently.
Cool. Oh yeah, right. There was an issue with the microcode package, which we also fixed in that regard. So good work, everybody.
And I want to mention another security-related issue, which is code scanning. So currently, we are starting to enable code scanning for all Flatcar repos. And yesterday, I enabled that in the update engine repo. So there are 3 code scanning warnings. So I should probably today evening to enable those and create automated PRs. And we should do that for all other repos probably in the next month. And so don't get surprised because that is just an automated job, and take your time. That's it.
Awesome. That is good stuff. I like the automated things as well. Great work. Thank you, Dongsu. Right. Roadmap. So there isn't much movement on the roadmap side. We're concluding the last steps in the secure boot work stream. We have thorough automation there. We have even internal releases, and we're working on automation and automatically publish them to image galleries where we can automatically consume and test them and provide them to other folks as well. We're still waiting for the CNCF on helping us with code signing. So the official signing for the shim, we want that to be officially CNCF signed. We had good conversations with folks at KubeCon EU, and they're working on putting things into place in the CNCF organization for us, but it's not included yet. Yeah, and the other issues, the other roadmap items are more or less ongoing. The release automation is ongoing with the new infrastructure overhaul as well, but that has a separate section. So I'm gonna go back to the agenda. And first one is SysEx and Cluster API, composable operating system. The SysEx bakery has seen quite a bit of traction in the past, in the recent past, and we had actually a number of significant contributions there in the previous month. So we're gonna make this more interesting for folks to collaborate there. We have added the NVIDIA KMod and I think Incus KMod and user space tooling as system dependent SysEx to Flatcar, increasing the flexibility there as well. Daniel, do you want to give a quick call out for the NVIDIA drivers SysEx?
Yeah, so we've basically repackaged the NVIDIA drivers as a precompiled SysEx. So instead of running the NVIDIA service on the boot, which compiles the drivers, you can grab and download like precompiled drivers that are ready to work. Yeah, you can like pick from the specific versions. We are shipping currently like 3 major versions, and each of them is in the open and non-open variants. So yeah, feel free to test it. So far, there's one shortcoming, and that's that we don't support ARM, but yeah, otherwise it should be ready for testing.
Awesome, good work. Mathieu, how about you give us a quick rundown of the Incus SysEx?
Yeah, so in the new alpha, we shipped SysEx images to provide Incus container runtime. So it's only for containers, not for virtual machines. So yeah, you can use it and activate it through Ignition. There is some documentation. Actually, I can maybe share my screen. Or Tilo, you can go on the Flatcar documentation.
Is it a Flatcar website?
Well, on the Flatcar website.
So it's merged already?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay,
So,
yeah, absolutely. Docs.
And you type Incus in the search bar. And yeah, you have some example to get started with it. And the most interesting part is the last one, where we provide butane configuration to enable ZFS storage and Incus in the same image and deactivating Containerd and Docker. So you can really have your own Flatcar images running Incus with ZFS without rebuilding the whole image or maintaining your own version of Flatcar. So that's quite interesting.
Yeah. It's still, I mean, I get that the complete configuration is very interesting because it comes as a whole package. I'm still going to scroll up a little bit and kind of line out how easy it is to use those like system-dependent extensions. It's literally just like this one line that you add to your configuration, and you tell it, please add Incus to my system-dependent SysEx. This will not just put the Incus SysEx and make it available at provisioning time. It will also keep it up to date across Flatcar releases, and it will work with rollbacks as well. So it's basically the way you expect Flatcar to work. This SysEx will work as well. Nice, good work. All right. So usually Cyan would do the trusted and secure boot work stream. He's not around, unfortunately, today. Daniel, do you have any updates in that regard?
Yeah, I think I don't have any updates on that.
Perfect. So I see an issue here, support secure boot testing in Mantle. I think we have that. Is that true?
Yes, I believe, but just for QEMU.
Oh, all right. Okay. So I will put it at least in progress because we're working on that. Thanks for the update. All right. Flatcar, CNCF incubation process. I know that there's no updates there because I'm helping out there since Danielle takes a little bit of a timeout, a little bit of time off. I've picked up some of the work. I've been working with CNCF to get access to more infrastructure via official CNCF means, but I don't have any updates yet. Flatcar infrastructure status, Infra 2.0, Mathieu.
Yes, not so much to report. We're still waiting from CNCF to provide access to the new home of Flatcar. So yeah, currently we didn't migrate anything. And yeah, I'm planning to deploy a GARM instance, temporary GARM instance to get back our GitHub runners for the GitHub actions. But yeah, nothing else to provide as update.
Cool. It's a nice update because we ran into a few timeouts and issues with GitHub CI. So it's good to see that improvements are coming there as well. All right, Nebraska infrastructure, Irvin.
Hello, hello. So my section is going to be short in regards to what has happened in the few last weeks. So basically, the last bigger dependencies of the Nebraska projects have been updated. Now these PRs have been merged, and I'm preparing a release this week, including all these package updates. So, for example, one of these packages are the React router. Another big one would be the Material UI toolkit. So I'm going to take up now some smaller tasks, some smaller issues. And in the next few weeks, I'm also targeting some extra development activities. Yeah, I guess that's all from my side. I don't want to say too much yet about what these development activities are, but maybe next time I will mention it.
Nice. No, I really look forward to that. I know like how much you actually have been pushing in terms of getting on top of all of the legacy items that we had, updating frameworks across major release versions, and it's amazing to see kind of the momentum the Flatcar, the Nebraska project has seen in the last months. It's great work.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. General, I've seen the comment, Adrian. I'll give you the opportunity right here in the open mic. I will not ignore you, and it sounds very interesting what you wrote in the comments, so I'm looking forward to it. Just gonna rip off the technical real quick. Any issues that you folks wanna call out? Any PRs that you wanna have discussed in the dev sync? Anything else from the technical that we should discuss?
I also have one. There's a older issue feature request on the full disk encryption, and that thing hasn't been let's say completed. It was I think on the first on the first link that you shared from the GitHub It's an older feature. So to keep it short, I will probably take a stab at it to have the full root encryption already created. So
Nice.
currently, when you use Flatcar, you cannot use LUX2 encrypted root before the first boot, right? Because Ignition will first boot, it will encrypt the root partition and then reboot. So I'll probably take a look more in depth at this one, and we'll have very probably or possibly a solution for one of our customers. Let's see how that goes.
You don't mean encrypting USR, right?
Well, actually, it's encrypting everything, but let's take it
Yeah.
one step at a time.
The only problem with that is if I'm trying to move the kernel image to USR to save space, if it's encrypted, that might be a problem.
Yeah. So first, it was so currently the root partition, it's encrypted by Ignition. So I'm envisioning a workflow where a customer creates gets the vanilla Flatcar image, and encrypts it using LO setup and stuff like that, and then boots it, and then TPM takes over. So it's a workflow. It's a more production grade workflow. I'll take a look at it and let's see how that goes. I'll probably need quite a lot of reviews on the workflow. So I'll be probably working on that. Yeah,
Sounds
it
good.
will be interesting. Yeah, it's always an egg and chicken problem on those kind of stuff. Thank you.
This is amazing. Great. That's a great initiative. I love it. Thanks for updating us, Adrian.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to call out in the technical? Okay, very good on the technical. And Adrian, you wanna chat about the Silva project?
Yes. So I have been involved recently with the Silva project. Silva project is a wrapper on top of Cluster API to deploy very big and to manage the very big production grade, telco grade Kubernetes clusters. Recently, I think 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, there was a merge on the Silva project to support immutable OSs, which leaves the door open, of course, for Flatcar. Flatcar hasn't been tested yet, of course. And yeah, it will be interesting. I might take a look also at that direction. Maybe someone else is also interested on this endeavor. So basically, it will be to add support for the Flatcar OS. I think Fedora CoreOS is already supported. And so basically Ignition, immutable OS is already supported. So probably it's a matter just of creating an image and seeing how it goes.
Nice. Yeah, that is very, very interesting. It's curious that since it builds on Cluster API, Fedora Core is supported, because the upstream, like vanilla Cluster API, only supports Ignition version 2, which isn't supported by Fedora CoreOS. So I guess some work has been done in that regard. And that is also
yeah, I might have been mistaken. SUSE Leap Micro and Fedora CoreOS, but I don't know exactly which version exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, there was I know there was a problem. But the important part is that, yeah, Ignition is supported and also immutable OSs. So if other OSs, immutable OSs based on Ignition work, it should also come rather easily for Flatcar to work as well.
Great news. That is great to hear. Awesome. Thanks for bringing this in. That's good stuff. All right.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna skip the release planning because there isn't like really much to say about the next release in favor of a quick rundown. Yeah, so we're planning release on by the end of June. We just finished the alpha release, so there isn't really much to plan yet. But we have a new alpha out, and that has a ton of new stuff in it. So I want to hand over to Mathieu to give us a good overview.
Yeah, so for the alpha, there is a lot of new stuff. So user facing and not user facing. So for the user facing stuff, we have the new kernel, so 6.12. As usual, we are testing this in the CI, but yeah, with the kernel, we always kind of wait for unexpected issues. So yeah, please test it in your workload to see if you have any issues and report to the team. So yeah, that's for the kernel. Coming with this, there's a breaking change. So I was discussing with Adrian about this breaking change, and we might try to mitigate it for the next beta. So it won't be a breaking change, but yeah, it has to be discussed and investigate. But yeah, that's something you should be aware of if you're using Azure images. Then what else? Yeah, we have the NVIDIA support through CZX images. So that would be way more interesting to use NVIDIA drivers from this approach. Should be more stable and more reliable because it will be built in the CI and so on. So yeah, you can have a try. And yeah, maybe some bug fixes as usual. Yeah, the Incus CZX images, and yeah, a lot of updates through the package updates. So all the CVs and new packages being updated. So that's really cool. Yeah, I don't know, Chewy, Dan, if you want to talk about something else with this new release.
It has the new Dracut version, quite a big version jump. It's the thing that generates the init RD. You shouldn't notice it, but yeah, if you have any issues booting, it could be that. So please let us know. Hopefully it's fine.
Awesome, good stuff. So we usually don't ask people to look at alphas. Alphas is mainly for developers, even though all of the alphas are fully tested. Like every single alpha release needs to pass like a test, right? So it doesn't explode into developers' faces. That would be a bad experience. You could also use them in like tightly controlled deployments, and that's what we recommend for this alpha. If you're curious or if you want bleeding edge, then there are a lot of changes coming, and you can help us to make sure those are digestible for your workloads even before this hits beta. So give it a spin, tell us how it works for you, and yeah, let us help you ensuring your workloads health. And that brings us to the end. Anything else? Questions? Concerns? Updates?
Yes. Related to the boot partition, I think we are hitting an all hands on deck situation soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not 50% yet. I mean, I've been investigating with Chewy, and even if the CI says it's 50%, it's a bit less. But still,
it's not quite that. It's because some of that space is taken up by files like grub, and that doesn't change. Of course, you've only got one copy of grub, so it can be like 51% ish taken up, and it will still be okay and enough to fit in another kernel image, if you see what I mean. But yeah, we are pretty tight though. Yes.
I've been testing just after the release. I have two alpha images on the same disk in partition A and partition B, and the boot folder is around 97%. 97, sorry.
We have to compare it against historical releases for when Grub took up more space than it does now. So if somebody upgrades from that release, it's still okay. That's until we can get into a situation where Grub is actually upgradable, and then we could do something about that.
Yeah. One thing that I have come across while trying to do the root encryption and the root partition encryption is that I was putting stuff in the boot partition, you know, and if people are putting stuff in their boot partition, like I had to do, you know, like the key, the Lux key, or something else, you know, yeah, it can become very dangerous for some people that use it, or at least more dangerous.
You mean in terms of space or security?
Space, yeah.
All right. Definitely something to keep our eyes on. And there's work ongoing to remediate the situation. It's, of course, very sensitive, and we're aware of that. So we're making sure that whatever we're doing doesn't break your update process. Jan, you have your hands up.
Thanks. So on a lighter note, the progress when it comes to PRs and branching standardization is going pretty well. So thanks everyone for doing their part. We got most of the repos mostly sorted, if that makes sense. The main repositories like scripts that are experiencing basically the heaviest traffic when it comes to contributions are going to be left probably for last. There are some problems with CI checks and code scanning with CodeQL, mainly due to just buggy GitHub user interface, really. The settings are kind of clunky. I think they changed it for whatever reason recently. So you might be experiencing some weird behaviors when it comes to PRs. Although it shouldn't really happen, but if that does, let us know, comment and so on. So yeah, thanks, and that's it.
Great call out and great initiative. Just equalizing this process across all of the repos in the org. That's super helpful. Thank you. All right. More open mic time. Anything you folks wanna bubble up?
I want to say a short reminder. So when you create a new issue in Flatcar repo, or create a pull request in Flatcar scripts repo, then please add that new one to the release planning board, because that's not done automatically by GitHub. So if you create a new issue, for example, then see on the right side, right below, there is a small tab project, and you can click on that and create it. Yeah, yes, exactly, that's that one. Yes, please do that. If you do not do that, then someone else should do that manually. For example, just before doing some meeting like this, or office hours and so on. That's it.
That's a good reminder. And so people filing, external contributors filing issues to Flatcar will not be able to do that. You need a certain level of access rights to the repo in order to do it. So when you pick up an issue or respond to an issue, please take your time and ensure it's also on the project board so we can track it. That's a good call out. Thank you, Dongsu. Okay. Anything else you want to discuss? All right. Then thank you everybody for joining and sharing the good news. Awesome work on the latest alpha release and on all of the Nebraska stuff and all of the other stuff that you've been pushing. Good work. And see you in the office hours next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.